Yes guys, what's up? So I wanted to do a video on Danny Swift Garcia versus Lamont Peterson. First of all, I just want to say that I think a lot of people underestimate this fight. A lot of people don't want to see this fight because Lamont Peterson got knocked out by Lucas Matisse. Many people felt he lost to Amir Khan, and he's had a few defeats in his career. But I want to say something. Look at the fight with Lamont Peterson and Thierry Jean. Forget about his last fight, right? It was a nonsense fight with the nobody, and forget that. Look at the fight against Thierry Jean. Thierry Jean were undefeated. He had a majority of his fights in Canada, if not all of them. I picked Lamont Peterson to win that fight. But you look at it, and you look at how Lamont Peterson performed in that fight. I think he performed beautifully. And I think that if he fights against Danny Garcia, if he takes Danny Garcia to the 12th round, tell me, who's a better jab cross mover, Danny Garcia or Lamont Peterson? I think that Lamont Peterson carries more speed than Danny. I think he's got, and we saw Danny Garcia struggle against Mauricio Herrera. Now Lamont Peterson, don't get me wrong, Herrera is a brilliant fighter, but I feel like Lamont Peterson is a better boxer than someone like Mauricio Herrera. So I think personally that this is a very interesting and intriguing fight, and I felt like at 140, a person with a really good chance of beating Danny Garcia is Lamont Peterson. I think that if Lamont Peterson doesn't bang and he just uses his boxing, and at times when he has to bang, he bangs, I think that he can get through the 12 rounds and take Danny Garcia to points. And we know Danny Garcia is not a brilliant point-winning fighter. He's a looping puncher. Although he knows how to win on points and he is a decent point-winning fighter, he's not a boxer. You know, he's not a Muhammad Ali style boxer. You know. He's not a Floyd Mayweather type boxer. He doesn't have light feet and jab and move. He's a Puerto Rican left hook, right hook, hard swinger. Okay, that's what he specializes in. Although he can jab and he's not just a brawler, someone like Matisse or Maidana, and he can box, I feel that Danny Garcia is predominantly first and foremost. I feel he's a brawler, and I think he's a mix of the two, but I don't think he carries tremendous foot speed and a jab and a cross. I don't think he's got that style. He punches hard, and I think that if they fight, I don't think Lamont Peterson gets knocked out. I think that Lamont Peterson has learned off the Matisse fight, and I don't think that that's going to happen against Danny Garcia. I think that Peterson's going to go in very smart, very tactical, and he's going to dance around Danny. And I think that Danny's going to have to time him, and I think that Lamont Peterson could potentially beat Danny Garcia. But obviously Danny Garcia carries a tremendous left hook, which if it lands on Peterson, Peterson doesn't have a tremendous chin. And I don't think he stays up from shots. He hasn't got that sturdy frame. He's been dropped several times before. And I think that Danny Garcia could get him out of there within 12. But I think if it goes to 12 rounds, we've got a very interesting fight. People can say what they want about Peterson, but Peterson's been in there with very, very good fighters. Very good fighters. So has Danny. But Peterson, I feel, has been up against the elite opposition, as has Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia's beaten them all, Peterson hasn't. But I feel like Peterson has learned from his mistakes and he's a tremendous boxer. And I really feel like he could give Danny all sorts of problems. I think that Danny Garcia, he's slow. He has timing, but he's slow. I mean, we look at like someone like Floyd Mayweather in comparison to Marquez. I think that's a good comparison to make in this scenario, because you look at Mayweather Jr., right, he's faster, he's a boxer, he's a counterpuncher, but he's a boxer. Whereas Marquez, he carries more power, he's a brawler, but he's a counterpuncher. Does that make sense? He's not a fast, rapid boxer where he jabs and moves and he's got the footwork and he's got the upper body movement. You know, he's not that. He carries more power than someone like Mayweather, whereas someone like Mayweather bounces around a lot. Danny Garcia doesn't do that. Danny Garcia is closer to Marquez than he is to Floyd. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And I hope that little comparison made more sense to you. You know, I hope that puts it a little bit better in context, because I feel that someone like Lamont Peterson give Danny Garcia kittens. I really, really do. Let me know what you think if this fight happens. I want to see it happen in 2015. I think if Danny Garcia is not moving up to 147, I think this is the fight you should take at 140. I think Adrian Broner, I don't know who he's going to fight, but they're the three names at 140. Garcia, Peterson and Broner. People want to see the Mauricio Herrera rematch for Danny Garcia. I think that at this moment in time, Danny Garcia needs a big name. He needs the biggest name he can get. And I think Broner and Lamont Peterson are the biggest names he can get at the moment. I think Lamont Peterson's a good fight. People need to stop this whole triangle scenario where Danny Garcia beat Lucas Matisse and Lucas Matisse beat Lamont Peterson, therefore Danny Garcia beats him. That's nonsense. Same as Mayweather beats Marquez, Marquez beat Pacquiao, therefore Mayweather beats Pacquiao. You know, it doesn't work like that. Boxing has never worked like that. Styles make fights many times. I mean, Prince Nassim fought a person, I forget, who beat Barrera, and Prince Nassim thought that he's going to easily go and beat Marco Antonio Barrera. That didn't happen. It's happened many times before in the past like that. And you gotta understand, I mean, you look at Pacquiao, Bradley, Marquez, that's another triangle situation. Pacquiao beat Bradley, Bradley beat Marquez, Marquez beat Pacquiao. You know, this stuff doesn't make sense. How can someone, you know, how can Marquez beat Pacquiao if Marquez lost to Bradley, who Pacquiao beat? You know, that just debunks the whole triangle theory. That's why Floyd Mayweather needs to really stop posting videos of Marquez's accomplishments, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the section below. Make sure you subscribe as always. Lamont Peterson vs Danny Swift Garcia. Do you think it's a good fight? Do you want to see it happen? I really want to see it happen. I think stylistically it could cause Danny a hell of a lot of problems if it goes to the 12 in a bit.